Hey everybody, it's Chad Hyams here with another episode of the Achieve Your Apex podcast. Thank you so much for joining me on these. We have been going over building a calendar of success for you. That's right, and I've given you the steps. I haven't told you what to put where. See, that's up to you. I've just given you the steps. So if you have not been following the podcast and today's your first episode, you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning if you don't want to. Just jump back a few episodes at least. I'm going to give you a quick recap because it's that important. You go back and get the details on how to build the proper calendar. And the formula is space, right? S, start of your day. P, promises. A, advancements. C, chaos. And E, end of the day. And we talked in detail about how to start your day right. We talked about what a promise is. It's not something you make to yourself. You'll break it all the time. It's something you make that involves someone else. They go on your calendar right after you've planned the beginning of your day. Advancements. These are things that move you forward. Stop attempting to put them under promises. This is separate. And in the next episode, I'm going to give you the win one, which is going to really outline those advancements for you nicely. C is chaos. We talked about how to control chaos or what to do when we can't control chaos and it shows up for us. And then E is end of day. And that's going to be a situation where we end our workday, maybe staggered for some of you. And then when do we go to sleep? The single most important thing you can actually do for success and for your health is get to sleep on time and get consistent circadian rhythm stuff. Now, I want to plus it. I want to put an S at the end of space. I don't talk about this all the time, yet it might matter to you. Spaces. Okay, so what's that final S that I don't usually teach to everybody? These are sales opportunities. So if you are in sales, these are where you are planning those opportunities to occur. This is when you say, oh, I'm going to go on that sales appointment at this time. I'm going to have a sales appointment at this time. It might be a buyer seller if you're in the real estate world. It might be a new client if you're in the mortgage industry. Maybe you're in car sales. Maybe that's when you're meeting with a client face to face for whatever sales opportunities you are. You see, this is not the time to generate the opportunity for it. This is so you have opportunities on your calendar. Maybe you're a hairdresser. Maybe you're a manicurist. These are when you're going to let your clients show up. You're going to block the time for sales opportunities. Now, if you come to a sales opportunity and don't have it filled in, get to work finding one, right? That means you haven't done your job. Now, though, when someone calls you or you call them and they say, yes, let's get together, you can say, perfect, I have this time on this day and this time on that day, instead of saying, well, what works for you? Okay, we need to plan for these opportunities. Okay, so that's building the calendar. You got a question about that last S? Don't hesitate. Message me. You can find me. I'm real easy to find on all the socials. I'm at Chad Hyams. My email is chadhymes@gmail.com. You can go to chadhymes.com to connect with me that way as well. Find out about the book, any events I'm involved with that are coming up, anything I can do to help you. Just use Chad Hyams and you'll find where you're going, whether it's email, websites, social media. I got lucky. There aren't a lot of me's out there. And you got lucky. There aren't a lot of me's out there. Okay, now I want to give you just a few little tips, tricks to help you with your calendar. One, do your calendar before you wake up Monday morning. If that's when you consider the week starting. If you consider the week starts on Sundays, then do it before you wake up Sunday morning. The week should be scheduled before you get into it. Here's why. When you take time in advance to plan your calendar, you're being logical. You're sitting there with a logical brain saying, I need this much time for this. I should do that there. When the moment strikes, you get emotional. I don't want to do that. Okay? Plan the calendar when you're logical because logic will defeat emotion. You'll get in the moment and you won't do things because you don't want to do them. If your calendar already says to do it, all you need is the discipline to follow what your calendar says after you have your little hissy fit. Okay? This is a huge difference for people who just build their calendar basically on the fly. That's not building a calendar. That's just dealing with whatever life's throwing at you and pretending you're scheduling it. All right, second tip. Do not use auto repeat for anything that is a daily activity. It's got to be weekly or less frequent. Let me say that again, weekly or less frequent. So if every Tuesday at 10 o'clock you have something on your calendar, fine, auto repeat. That way, when you open your calendar to build next week's and you are logical, that promise is already there because it's something that shows up at a certain time, probably because it's a meeting with somebody, maybe a coach like myself, maybe a board meeting that you're on, whatever that might be. If it's monthly, great. If it's yearly because you want to remember someone's birthday or whatever, great. You can put auto repeat on those things. Daily activities like waking up, going to sleep, going to the gym, whatever it might be work-wise, things that might be on your advancements that we'll talk about again in the next episode, those can't be auto repeat. You've got to put them on your calendar because if you don't put them there, they're not really there. Okay, you've got to apply them because you're going to look and realize, oh, wait, I have a conflict at 9 o'clock. I usually like to lead generate at 9 o'clock. I can't do it this day. Or I like to go to the gym at this time. Oh, I can't do it this day. But if you just had it auto repeat, you would just end up skipping it, which is what most of you do. The third little trick, simple, color coordinate. Put some color to your calendar. Now, I don't care what colors others have told you. If you want green to represent money and red to represent bad or what, go for it. Yet my calendar does not follow any of that, and yours doesn't need to. Just have the colors mean something. So, purple is my favorite color. So all of my coaching calls are purple on my calendar. Gets me excited to see those calls. We worked out at Orange Theory for many, many, many years as we really started to turn our health around for my wife and I. So everything health related, since it's just orange. It doesn't matter if it's just a daily run. It doesn't matter if it's something else. It's orange. That's the color. My wife, she's got the most beautiful blue eyes. If you know Nita, you know what I'm talking about. She's got beautiful blue eyes. So everything on my calendar that has to do with her, blue. So now when I'm looking at my calendar and I see a whole bunch of purple, knowing I'm going to be busy doing some of my favorite things, I see that bit of blue where lunch is maybe because I get to have it with Nita. Or I get to see it at the end of the day. So it gives me that little energy. I don't have to know what specifically the calendar says. I just see the color. I know I see the orange, so there's going to be a pop of exercise coming. There's going to be something. I'm going to be doing something active. It's going to get me moving. If I'm seeing a week with no orange, I know I'm going to feel lazy and stale all week long. It allows me, as I'm being logical, to build my calendar. Pick the colors that work for you. Folks, go back through these episodes. Grab your copy of Achieve Your Apex. You can do it at achieveyourapex.com or on Amazon. Just search for Achieve Your Apex, Chad Hyams. It'll come up for you wherever you want to get the book from, so you always have these reminders on how to build the right calendar for success for you. Make sure you share these episodes with somebody, please. Make sure you bring somebody into the world. Make sure you subscribe so these keep dropping automatically, whether you're watching them on YouTube or you're getting them where you get your podcasts. Make sure you're not missing a single episode of the Achieve Your Apex podcast. And until the next one, keep climbing.